Hello, this is Julian White reporting for Talking About Cars with Generation Auto, and I'm sitting with legendary film actor, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Great to see you.
Nice to see you, Julian.
Our viewers and listeners, of course, are passionate about cars, and they love to know, what was your first car?
Well, my first car was my dad's, which I used to take out when he went to sleep, which took a long time for him to go to sleep. He was a cop, and he was chief of police.
I've heard.
Yeah, everybody heard.
Especially in your town.
And he came and looked for me, I guess after I snuck out and I wasn't there, and then he went down, his car wasn't there. So he got somebody to come pick him up, and he tracked me down and took me home. But that began a whole cat and mouse game that we had for years and years.
I heard he had a certain punishment for you for that.
Well, he had a lot of punishments for me. He used to warm up on my rear end with a paddle pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And
threw your butt in the keister?
Yeah, he did. But he was, I couldn't have had a better dad.
That's good to hear.
He was honest as the day is long. He was the chief of police, and he was just a straight arrow.
What types of cars over the years have been in your garage?
Well, everything from, hot rods to real fast cars. And then I had a couple speedy cars that I liked a lot.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
If you could have any car back today that you've sold, what one would it be?
I'd have the very first TransAm I had.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What was that? Do you recall the year?
It was the year we made the movie.
The 77.
Yeah.
When I saw the movie Smokey and the Bandit, the first time I ever saw a TransAm, I was a 10-year-old boy. I loved the car. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And when it rolled out of that big rig, I fell in love. What was your first impression of the TransAm when you saw it on set?
It was the same as yours, I mean, Jerry said, "Honey, hush."
He nicknamed it?
That summed it up.
That was his nickname for the car?
Mm-hmm.
You and Jerry Reed have some of the most memorable scenes in the movie. I mean, the wit, the charm, the chemistry that you two had. You must have had a lot of fun working with him.
I miss him every day.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that I lost that are irreplaceable. Jerry's one, and the other was Dom DeLuise.
Puts a smile on your face, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. When I think about him, it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're irreplaceable. Where are you going to find them?
People like that. Making the movie must have been an absolute blast. You can tell on screen how much fun you were having. How much did you stick to the script?
Do you know something, Julian? I don't remember anything in that script.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't remember a word. I mean, we just flat out ad-libbed everything. I got to tell you who was really a pro. And I remember saying when we were trying to figure out who was going to be the girl, I said, "I want Sally Field." And they said, "Well, she's not sexy."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Talent is sexy. And she has talent."
True.
And they said, "Well, on what?" And then, of course, after we did the movie, she won a Tony, an Emmy, and an Oscar.
Right. So you were right.
Yep.
There's a particular line that Sally Field delivers in the movie that says, "Does this car move?" Was it fun to drive the car?
Well, I told her, "Oh, yeah." And then I punched it. Mm-hmm. And we were off. She loved it. You couldn't scare her in that daggum car. You couldn't scare her, no matter what I did.
They say you should never act with animals, children, or in this case, maybe even a Trans Am, because you might get upstaged.
Yeah.
What about working with Jackie Gleason?
Well, he was just the best. He was the best. He was so much fun. He'd like to, he had a guy that worked for him named Mal, and he'd say, "Mal, hamburger," and that meant a glass of vodka about that high.
That was code.
And he just tipped it back, and then he'd say, "Mal, hamburger," about 10 minutes later. And by about noon, he was crocked. But he could walk straight, and he said whatever lines he was going to say, and I just went with him.
With Mr. Gleason, he had a lot of ad-libbing. Some of those famous lines in the movie came from him.
Oh man, I tell you, it was so much fun. It was so hard not to break up on every scene. You know?
Laughing.
Yeah, and he was a wonderful man, just a wonderful man.
Clear up a story for me that's been going around. The name Buford T Justice. Where did the name come from?
Well, Buford T Justice was, there's a little town called Pahokee. Buford was their star fullback on their football team. We didn't play them because they were a much smaller school than we were. We were a big school. But we played them in a kind of exhibition game before the season started. And I'll never forget him. He tackled me, and then he bit me on my calf, just bit it as hard as he could. And I said, Buford, what the hell are you doing? He said, I just like the taste of an A1 football team, and you're about the best A1er I've ever played. Boy, that was a good, do you mind if I have another hunk? And I said, yeah, I do mind, and don't do it again.
He must have needed an agent after the movie. With a name like that.
He said to me, do you think I need an agent? And I said, yeah, Buford, I do. I think you should get an agent if you can.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your talent. It's been entertaining for all of us over the years, and it's been a true pleasure to sit here with Mr. Burt Reynolds.
Thank you,
talking
Jimmy.
about cars with Generation Auto.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.